What's up, guys? Obviously, it's Captain Obvious, and welcome to the Armory. In today's episode, we will be revisiting the AEK-971 so I can review this weapon's recoil patterns and teach you guys some new strategies to make sure that you can control the recoil on this weapon better. And honestly, this weapon can be one of the best assault rifles in this game if you know how to counter the recoil properly and you use the right attachments. I have already reviewed the AEK-971's damage, rate of fire, suppressive effects, recoil patterns, and all that stuff before. And I'll provide a link to that in the description so you guys can go check that out at your leisure if you have missed that episode and you want to, relearn things about the AEK. But today I'll be primarily focusing on countering this weapon's recoil patterns and making sure you can maintain a nice tight spread and acceptable controllability when using the weapon. In order to maintain the best accuracy possible, you must put a heavy barrel on the AEK-971. That way you can easily control the recoil because it goes vertical a little bit more, and you can maintain a lower spread while aimed down sights to make sure your longer range fire is acceptable. Throughout today's video, I'll be using the AEK-971 with a heavy barrel, underslung rail, and no optic or a cobra sight. I like using those two optics because it provides a nice open sight picture, but in the end, the optical attachment is up to you guys for whichever one suits you best and gives you the most advantages personally to you. The heavy barrel is a must for this weapon because, like I said before, increases that vertical recoil and decreases the spread for easier controllability. So now let's take a look at the AEK-971's regular fully automatic recoil patterns with the heavy barrel attached. When the heavy barrel is attached, the AEK-971's recoil pattern is very heavy to the left and upwards. The magic of the heavy barrel is that you want to try to counter the recoil at like a 280 to 290 degree angle. It's easier to do that than to counter the recoil to a 330, 320 degree angle because it's easier to pull the thumbstick or the mouse directly down and to the right than it is to pull it horizontal and a little bit to the right going down. Alright, so this is the general direction you want to pull the AEK-971 in to counter its recoil. You may want to take some time to play a few practice games in TDM or something like that with a few friends to try to master this directional pull. Getting a feel for the weapon while firing it and getting used to that recoil pattern makes it much easier because sometimes this isn't the direct direction you have to pull it in. It varies between shots and different bursts while firing the weapon. Now I'm going to give a demonstration of the AEK-971 countering the recoil when firing full auto with the heavy barrel attached. You're going to notice that it is very easy to do if you can master it. I've already played with the AEK in this fashion for a few days, but it's very hard to master. You want to make sure you can control the recoil whenever possible to make sure you can hit those longer range shots at long range. Even on full auto, it is surprisingly accurate when countering recoil. Alright, so look at this. I'm counting the recoil, I'm pulling the stick down, and look at that nice spread. It is very, very acceptable. It is a great way to control the recoil by pulling that stick down or the mouse in this direction. You can even use fully automatic fire out to medium to long range while using this strategy because you keep that spread tight and you keep the recoil down. Even though you can maintain nice, accurate fire out to longer range with automatic fire using this strategy, I highly recommend doing 8 to 10 shot bursts with the AEK. You maintain an even tighter spread, and those 8 to 10 shots are usually enough to get a kill if all of them hit their mark. But in the end, it's always up to you for what strategy you want to adopt for yourself. I like going with the 8 to 10 round burst if you want to do the fully automatic fire. That's completely acceptable as long as you counter the recoil in the proper direction and make sure you keep it down and use the heavy barrel to maintain minimum spread and make it easier for you to counter the recoil. Now here's some clips of the AEK-971 in action being deployed this way while countering recoil at longer ranges. This is Damavan Peak defending at the first base, so obviously you guys can see some longer range firefights that I'm engaging in. And you can see that maintaining the accuracy is extremely important. Now don't forget, burst firing is always a great option with this weapon. Even though you may think to yourself that going fully automatic while controlling recoil is a good idea, burst firing is always a great option at longer range to make sure you get all of your shots on target. Switching to single fire or 3-round burst is always an acceptable strategy when firing at medium to long range, but It's harder to get kills because people can get away easier when you're only firing 1 or 3 shots at them. That just about does it for today's episode of the Armory. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, but now I'm going to move into a few updates regarding the Armory series. Now, obviously, I was supposed to do the pistols today and next Wednesday. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the pistols this coming Wednesday of this week, because it'll give me enough time to get all the pistol footage I need, because it's very hard to get good footage of only using the handguns in the game. So I hope you guys are looking forward to me analyzing all the rest of the pistols in this game, and then after that I'm probably going to move on to doing the PDWs or the shotguns. I'm really leaning toward doing the PDWs because I like using those weapons, and they're very good, powerful weapons if you use them the right way. So probably after the pistols, I'm moving to the PDWs, and then after that, it's going to be up to you guys for what weapon class you want me to start after that. Second, after this patch coming up on June 4th, there's a lot of weapon changes that are going to be added into the game, especially dealing with the attachments and how they affect the weaponry. I may have to re-review a few weapons in a sort of revisited type of video like I did today for the AEK. Now, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that because I have to stay on schedule for with the rest of the weapon classes. I may do them in sort of a bonus video on a different day other than a Saturday or a Wednesday. And also, since the Close Quarters DLC is coming out this week, I will have to do those weapons once they are released and after I get all my statistical information from Synthic.com, which may take a little bit. I'm not quite certain if they have the data already from DICE or if they're going to have to wait to get the DLC itself to release all of the statistical data. That may take some time, but I'm going to be doing each weapon class. Like I'll do the 2 assault rifles released in a video, all the 2 engineer weapons released in a video, and so on and so forth. So I can't wait for the Close Quarters DLC. I think the weapons will be awesome, and I can't wait to review them in the Armory in the coming weeks. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, remember to give it a thumbs up. That helps out a lot. There are Twitter and Facebook links down in the description. And as always, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.